where can players find certain dinos like carnivores, like their T-Rexes and things like that, or they're all spread out kind of evenly?
I really tried to spread them out evenly. I know after the map revamp, there's been some overspawning issues, specifically with swamp spawns, but we've kind of figured that those are mod related. So, but you can see down here, we've got a T-Rex fighting some rhinos. Just, I really tried to make it as balanced as I possibly could with carnivores mixed in with a little bit of herbivore so that you had your chance. Like the white shoals, I didn't put much over there. I didn't want people to just die constantly because that can be really frustrating. But
Mhm.
this is the savanna, the Midland savanna. So it's fairly green. It's lush, has quite a bit of trees. The river is my baby. It took me 2 weeks straight of learning to figure out how to make that sucker and make my own static mesh. It was probably the worst time of my life, I would say, until I got it figured out. But so this, I wanted a twisty, windy river. I wanted a wide mouth at the end. So I eventually got what I wanted there, and I think it just people love that spot because
That's
with
awesome.
one
What?
thing I would say, like Arc, it has the ocean running through,
Mhm.
but there's not a lot of like water areas outside of that. So I think they really like the difference here with so many waterways and stuff.
Are we able to harvest purple crystals as well?
The purple crystals give you crystal, they give you sand, and I believe cactus sap because
Cactus
they're
sap.
mostly specific to the savanna and the desert. So I wanted to give people relevant resources. Although coming from a crystal, I mean, cactus sap is just a little strange, but yeah, why not?
Oh, that
Something
works well.
different, something fun. And then all the crystals, like I said, do give you the 4 or 5 different crystal grades to tame your crystal wyverns. And don't forget to harvest the crystal wyvern bodies. That's one thing people probably don't know. The normal crystal wyvern, because there is an alpha. If you harvest their body, if you happen to kill one, they do give you the rare chance of a primal crystal. So you can. Those are basically kibble to the crystal wyvern.
Oh, okay.
All right, so here's our desert savanna. Sadly, it's raining right now, so it doesn't look as hot and dry as it should, but this is heading into our desert. So this is getting us there as far as those transition biomes. I really wanted things to, if I was going to have so many biomes, I felt like it at least needed to blend as well as possible. So you hear the cicadas, and it just, when you're on the ground, should feel hot, dusty, and get all of these animals just doing their thing. And there you've got some metal. My ant hills do give you chitin, clay, and I want to say sand. I was
That's pretty
thinking,
cool.
what would ants make their hill out of? They would, obviously, if you destroyed an ant hill, you would get the chitin off of them, and then,
That is pretty amazing.
yeah,
I never seen one of those in any map or at all in real life either. So it's
yeah, no,
that's pretty cool.
it's
So these
definitely
are
a more desert thing.
I
So,
see. So these are definitely harvestable.
hmm
Okay. Will
yep,
there
and
be?
just be careful. I did put ant spawners on them, so
Oh,
you're
okay.
gonna, have to get to it and work for it. And you can't just run up and harvest your chitin for free. So
Oh, that's awesome.
be careful there when you're going up. And I used to have a bug sound as like a sort of a radius warning,
Mm-hmm.
but once the spawner went away, if somebody happened to build their base over it, the sound remained and it just was annoying to people. So I took it out.
Okay.
Meh. Womp womp. Now we're going to be heading into our desert, which you can see the redstone just sort of makes its way in and then eventually stops. I tried my best to blend the biomes. Got a little pass through our canyon here. That's for the most part a little sad and empty for now because I just haven't gotten here. But you should really just be able to have quite a cool experience in here. I made plenty of flat platforms where you could build bases if you wanted. Let's see. Got this nifty little stalactite formation there. The top should be accessible and usable. The bottom, the sides. I know there are plenty of crafty base builders out there that are just gonna have a heyday with this area.
Pretty cool. I noticed that different crystals give you different resources. Are you planning to add any other different types of crystal?
I'm thinking I'll do something fairly interesting in the rainforest. I'm not sure if I'm gonna just use all the crystals for that really colorful feel. What specifically, I haven't really decided. Obviously, the snow biome's gonna have crystals. Redwood's gonna have crystals. And then there's those orange type crystals that are on the floating island. So there's at least 3 more that are going to come into play here. But as far as what they'll give, I just haven't decided. I'm a really artistic person, so I kind of let an area lead me to where it wants to be, which might sound really silly, but artistically, it's just kind of like you start with a small something and you just let it take you where it feels like it's meant to go. So that is, and speaking of the rainforest, I actually, to help people be really happy, because the wyverns are supposed to be in the rainforest, I created what I call a wyvern hive down here. Ooh. And the story behind it is just that there's a particular wyvern flock that likes to nest and hatch their babies here in the desert. So they migrate to this desert hive here every year, I suppose, and they hatch their babies. So you'll fly in here and you'll find a small taste of the rainforest. They bring it with them, so you'll find your eggs in here, no problem. There's little wyvern caves everywhere that'll your nests and stuff. And then I added bones because there's the big holes in the ceiling. Those dinos are falling in all the time, breaking legs, being eaten. So really tried to give you a fantasy map while also thinking, okay, realistically, how would things go here? Oh, and the water will have fish. You'll find fish in the water. So it's really just a nice natural environment where cool enough but warm enough, and they're happy, and it's just really beautiful. You can't build in here, by the way, so don't try. It's not for that kind of stuff. It's for your wyverns and your dino.
So there are certain areas where players can build in where they're not allowed to build, for example. So this will be one of them.
Yep, I really did not restrict anything, but this is special. This is where people are going to be getting their wyvern eggs, and I didn't want someone to ruin that for them by building here and creating a spawning issue. So I went ahead and blocked this area.
Okay.
Well, yep, so this is your tiny taste of the rainforest. This is a little bit of what's to come as far as plant life, colors, sparkles. So, and then you will find your wyvern eggs in here, no problem. Well, hopefully it's open enough. Hopefully there's enough obstacles. You'll be able to snatch your eggs and get out without, being too much in danger for your life. So we'll see. But it's not supposed to be easy, I suppose. All right, so we're gonna head back to the tropics over here so I can show you the last little special surprise that would for a pass-through cave, I call it. It passes from the tropics into Blood Falls Hollow. We'll go land over there and take a little exploration through that guy. Goodness. But here you got, you have white shoals slowly blending into a sort of oasis space before the desert. So hopefully there's a little bit of somewhere for everybody. I'm sure you are able to get up on the side here and make your way all the way up and around if you like. So all of this is baseable. You can, build to your heart's content and make the neatest little bases. Or big bases, whichever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just right over here. So we'll go. Wow, Stego, how'd you get up here, buddy?
What is this?
Silly guy. He must have fallen down, would be my guess. So,
Oh, whoa. So what do you call this particular area?
this is the tropics. So this is another fairly docile area. You're gonna find beach spawners here. Probably mostly just beach. The white shoals and this place specifically use beach and Damien's Atoll, which is just brontos, stegos, trikes. Pretty, beginner-esque type stuff. The occasional duo of dilos that, just suck, but you have to deal with them, that kind of stuff. So, and here you see, here's this metal I'm talking about. It's everywhere. It really is, people. The metal is there. You just have to look for it. It's kind of disguised, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed it from the air.
Yeah, but to me, I thought, well, that's natural. That's what it would probably look like. It would be covered, and it just wouldn't be. Here, we'll go on foot from here. I don't think these guys will help us have a very good view of this place. But this was my very first cave. This was my first try. I know that I think at the end the end should be fine, but I just thought, I just want it to be cool and interesting. The crystals hum to you. The big crystals have a deep hum. The little crystals have a quiet, high-pitched hum. You see snails in here. Safe. We've got coal in the water and some pearls. I wanted to make an experience. You're just passing through. It's not really somewhere you would live. There's a couple of resources, but I think mostly for almost the whole map, I just wanted to take people somewhere. I wanted to make them go, whoa, look at that. Just have a moment of awe and like, oh, this is just awesome.
That's pretty amazing. I love the detail on this map. So,
got some mods in here.
What kind of resources can players find in here?
In here, you're gonna find your snails, and if you're maybe a lower level, you can probably have a little bit easier time of taming the moth, because there are some moths in here. For the most part, you can pick the bushes and some pearls in the water, and I think that's kind of it. I didn't really fill the place up with too much. And we come out on Blood Falls Hollow here, this side. Gotta kind of come out over here, and then there's a couple of caves across the way, but they're very tiny. They're just tiny little pass-through caves with red crystals in them. One of them is really the only access you have to a really nice little base spot, and they're not altogether really obvious. So it's kind of one of those, almost like an explorer type situation where you got to be on the ground looking and exploring, and then you find that special little spot that just isn't overly obvious to people.
So are there any more caves like this, or is this the only one?
There is the little ones just over the way, but really that's it so far. I like to put everything into an area. I don't really like to sort of just slap it together and put it out. So if there isn't a lot of that from me just yet on the map, it's because I'm waiting for the right time to really give people a good special experience. So, sorry guys, going as fast as I can. Like I said earlier, I'm the only person actually making the map and designing it and touching it, so it's a one-man show with the aspect of things. So, whew, wipe the sweat off my brow. Let's see. No, I'm really excited to progress now that the map's been redone. I feel like it's really at that point where I'm going to be able to do some cool stuff without a whole lot of trouble. This is just a little pass-through cave. Blood Falls Hollow has a lot of tall, sheer cliffs, so I wanted to make use of... Oh, look, here's some of that meadow people keep talking about.
Oh, there's exploring out there. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to make use of some of those spaces by just, cutting a path through, filling it up, making it interesting, and then this probably won't stay here. Honestly, there's just not enough of the map done with super secret or cool hard spots to get to for the artifacts to be. Why is it so huge? That must have been me. Yep, I used a huge spawn. Random thought. So it's a little close to the other one for now. So, enjoy it while it lasts, guys, because it won't be that way forever. But it's just a nice little pass through that takes you to a waterfall and a oh look at that kind of moment. So
That's awesome. And this leads me to like kind of like the swamp kind of area, right?
hmm, yep,
Awesome.
that's the salty isles over there where everything's a bit oversaturated with salt and as a result kind of dead and unhappy. And then you will find that most of the waterways within the playable areas are, at least there's environment to them now. There's water dinos, there's going to be water grass and metal nodes. And my pearls, I used the sand pearls from Scorched Earth. So pearls aren't as obvious. You got to kind of look for them, but they're there, I promise. They're kind of all over. You just need to really look for them. So
Excellent.
so we've got 3 obelisks. We've got the blue, the red, and the green. And trying to, you should have all of the island artifacts and the 3 from Scorched Earth, and the majority of Explorer notes are in and around here somewhere for you to find.
So where can the beer people that are watching this? Where do you think where can they find you? Where can they show you some support and things like that?
The Steam page has a link to just about everything, so you will be able to get to the Discord from there, which is probably the best place to go. I do go to the Steam page as much as I can and answer people, but Discord is great because it's a community and there are more than just myself around to help with troubleshooting, server issues, stuff like that. So Discord, and then I have a Patreon, just like everybody else, for whoever feels like doing it. So that's pretty much it. And then the Twitter page. I try to post as often as I can with pictures and teasers and stuff like that there. So that's where you will find me if I'm able to talk. So.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Isa, for showing me around the map. Really very. I'm actually very impressed with it. So thank you.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens in the future because I'm thinking it's gonna just keep getting better. So, and the performance apparently is way better. So, yay! It was worth it.
Even the baby agrees. So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you, Isa, and I guess I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Bye, everybody.